Hi, everyone. My name is Neaka Balloge. My lightning talk is called Triple Threat, combining webinars, chats, and digital scavenger hunts to engage a remote workforce. So very quick background on myself. I currently work with NYU Langone Health. Slides are going crazy here. We are a large healthcare provider in the Metro New York City area. We have over 40,000 full-time staff, 300 plus ambulatory locations, and we have 5 different hospitals now. So currently in my role there, I lead all security training and communications involving everything related to awareness as well as development of our IT standards and policies. I've been actively working on my certification collection. And one thing I forgot to add here is that I'm very honored to be a member of the advisory board for the event that we're all in today, as well as the summit that we did in August and the 2019 US summit that was in San Diego. So super excited to be a part of this again today. So starting first with the problem, and I'm sure this is one that obviously we can all relate to, was really how we were going to translate a month of activities for Cybersecurity Awareness Month in October that frequently had relied very heavily on in-person events, trainings, lunch and learns, how we were actually going to transition that into an engaging virtual experience. So in order to do that, and it looks like some of my font size got a little misaligned here, we considered 3 different populations that typically would come to and attend our events. So we broke them down into 3 groups. So here in the blue bubble really were the folks that are very eager to learn, that are very interested in this knowledge. Of course, that's typically a smaller group within the environment. And those are people that we see that are in our ambassadors program, a lot of folks that are in IT, and that already have a lot of interest in this area and who are willing to sit with us and learn for an extended period of time. We then, of course, have the individuals who are always too busy. It's not the right time for them. People who quickly pass by because perhaps they're on their way to a meeting. Perhaps they're trying to see a patient. They have some type of appointment that they already have to get to. So folks that will engage with us on their own time, but that has to be something that is on demand and available to them. And then lastly, our third population that we considered were all of the people with which we have very casual interactions. Typically people who at events may be a little gun shy, may not want to come over and engage right away, but people who we can usually entice to come over if we have our swag, our giveaways. We would give away things called badge buddies with all of the IT security information. That was really the third group that we wanted to address. So in order to create a solution for this, we really wanted to find educational opportunities that would align to the interests for each of these 3 populations. So for our people that are already very eager and enthusiastic to learn, we made sure that we offered them an in-depth training. So we did weekly offerings of a full hour-long social engineering webinar. That was a topic that was something people had asked for in our survey feedback and that people thought was very engaging and timely. And it actually ended up being a really great session. We highlighted some of the video examples that were shared during yesterday's part of the summit, particularly the Rachel Toback interview that she did with the CNN reporter. We shared a clip from when Jen Fox had presented a few years ago at the summit, sharing some of the phone calls that she had done and showing the willingness of individuals to give up sensitive information. And that went over very well and certainly opened the eyes of our IT leadership and brought them into the need to do further trainings, especially with groups like our help desk, finance teams, et cetera. For those folks that were always too busy and on the go, we wanted to make sure we had something on demand. So if you tuned in for the August summit, you may remember the online digital scavenger hunt that we shared with the SANS community. So I gave a presentation on that and we replicated the same thing in our organization, NYU Langone Health. So that was a 3-tiered interactive event where we had folks use the answers to clues for their first 2 tiers to put together secret URLs. And then for the final tier, we had them put together numeric answers to clues to actually put together a GPS coordinate for our buried treasure. So that was great. And we had more participation with that game than we have with any other type of game that we've tried to date. And then lastly, for those casual interactions, and this is really what I wanted to focus on, we came up with something called cyber chats. So these were very short, at most 20 minutes of content, webinars in which we presented a variety of different topics, all cyber related that could apply basically to everyone across the organization, whether related to their particular work and role or their personal life. So we'll take a quick deeper dive into those cyber chats. So these were particularly successful for us because they really allowed us to replicate those very casual interactions that we had had, like I had mentioned in my earlier slide, with folks that we would see that had not necessarily planned to come to our event, but who we had that great opportunity to make a connection with, make sure that they understood that as an IT security team, we are a resource that is available to them, and make sure that they walk away from that interaction with, at the bare minimum, our contact information so they know that they can reach out to us in the future. So in addition to reaching that goal, the cyber chats really helped us in three other ways. So first of all, they really helped increase the visibility of the IT security team, which is always a good thing and something we always want to encourage across the enterprise. Secondly, for myself, it helped give me more data on individuals that we could recruit for ambassador programs. So certainly repeat attendees, people who came to multiple sessions, and of course, those who came to all of the sessions are great individuals to target to bring into our ambassador program to help act as advocates and keep spreading the good cyber word across our organization. And then lastly, and perhaps most importantly, since I am a team of one, this really helped with resource allocation. Particularly as one individual, I'm sure as many of us know, it is very taxing to try and create all of this original content, deliver it, and be an expert on all of these different things. So these chats were fantastic because I developed them in conjunction with the security team on which I sit, and we were able to come up with topics where we could leverage the expertise of existing members of our security team to help deliver those topics. So here's the example of the 8 topics that we focus on. Particularly draw your attention to a few of these. Email security 101. We partnered with some members of my team that actually analyze emails to see if they're malicious, to look at things like email headers. And then we also did things like partnering with some of our architects who are very familiar with things like CIS benchmarks to do deep dives that are more technically focused on hardening operating systems and browsers. And the impact of this is that we were able to successfully complete 13 events from our one-woman operation for Cyber Awareness Month with our completely virtual format. And we had actually exceeded previous levels of event participation than any other previous Cybersecurity Awareness Month to date. So ultimately, it became very successful and hopefully something that even if we go back to in-person events, that we're going to then infuse into our programs moving forward. So thank you guys for the opportunity to share today.